Welcome to our Remembrance Assembly. This weekend is Remembrance Sunday, when the whole country is welcome to come together to commemorate those people who were killed in the First and Second World Wars and more recent conflicts. Today we hold our commemoration.
What is remembrance? This is the day we remember and respect all those people who have unfortunately lost their lives in terrible wars. It means that we remember those who have lost their lives and make sure they're never forgotten. It is on the same date where the fighting in World War I had came to an end, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month.
We show our respect in a variety of different ways, but the most recognisable is the wearing of the poppy. The red poppy is the most famous symbol used for those who sacrificed their lives in World War I. The purple poppy means to remember animals that were victims of war, animals like horses, dogs and pigeons that were injured in the World War I. The black poppy remembers Africans, Black and Caribbean communities' contribution. White poppies represent people who have died in conflict with a focus on an end to World War I.
We have a selection of poppies you can colour in during the assembly whilst listening in. I'm sure many of you will recognise our war memorial. This was erected on October the 4th, 1925. The completed war memorial was unveiled by Field Marshal Earl Haig, and an equestrian statue of a Border Reaver designed by Thomas Clapperton was installed in front of the tower.
The large plaque behind the Borders River is cited of those who lost their lives in the First World War, also known as the Great War.
In P7 we have been researching some of the men whose names are listed. We wanted to find out a little bit more about them, the people behind the names. Here's a few we wanted to share with you.
I did some research on a British Army soldier, Angus Lister. He sadly died on September 21st, 1916. He was buried at sea, and he is on a memorial plaque in Iraq.
Guardsman David McLennan of the Scots Guard was killed in action on September 14, 1914. But this body was never found. It was only when Scottish historian Patrick Anderson discovered a memorial in Avon in the Highlands that the story came to light. A few years ago, he and his wife were on a holiday in Rossshire and saw the war memorial in Ava listed Lance Corporal David Bain McLennan. They found that David was born at Ava on June 6, 1887, and joined the Scots Guards as a private soldier, and in parts the 191 Kansas was serving with the regiment in Egypt. He returned to the UK in 1913 and was picked in the Army Reserve list while he began employment as a River Tweed water valet. David resigned from that post in February 1914 to join the Northumberland Country Constabulary as a police constable in March 16, 1914. Just 10 days before McLennan became a policeman, he married Elizabeth Sloan Miller, aged 22. However, on August 4, 1914, McLennan was recalled to rejoin his old regiment as a private soldier and the acting lane corporal.
Oliver Peter died on the 12th of July of 1950 at Gallipoli, at age 36. Lots of people from Gala died in Gallipoli.
This is James and David Dick. He is the great-great-uncle of Mr. Bramhall. Mentioned in dispatches 6551/4th BN King's Own Scottish Borders, died 10th of November 1915, son of James and Margaret Dick, 47 Bank Street, Galashiels, buried Piety Military Cemetery.
6,694. Whoa.
Alright.
James Dick, 6,694 BN, King's Own Scottish Borders, died 20th of June 1915, aged 27, son of James and Margaret Dick, husband of Isabella Dick, 21, Bank Street, Galashiels, buried Lancashire, Landing, Germany.
These are not just names stamped into metal, but are loved sons, brothers, uncles and partners. For some, their memories live on as they still have family who honour them. For others, we need to do remembering of them. This is remembrance.
It was thought that there would never be another conflict like World War I. Why would anyone wish for the world to go through such loss again? For all the men who survived and came home, it was an experience they seldom shared. It has been awful. The world learned its lesson. The Great War would end all wars.
Until it didn't. 20 years later, the world was caught up in another war. The Second World War resulted in further losses. Those from Gala surrounding the area who died serving their country are listed on the side plaques. More people to remember, more families with thoughts of loved ones gone.
Since the end of World War II, there have been other conflicts around the world and British forces have been involved in many. Although Gala has not had to add any new plaques to the memorial, other towns have not been so fortunate, and Remembrance Sunday takes on an even more personal note for those who have lost loved ones in the recent years.
This year marks the 100th anniversary for the Royal British Legion. It was set up in the aftermath of the First World War to help support surviving members of our armed forces and their families. The work we do now is as irrelevant and needed as it was 100 years ago.
Ted was a soldier who contracted acute fever in Afghanistan. This made him very weak and didn't see the point of getting up every day. Battle Back Center helped him to change his whole life. They put him on a course to help with his anxieties, and he lives a much better and longer life.
Hello, my name is Wojciech and I'm Polish. The person that you see on screen behind me is a picture of my great-granddad. His name is Adolf Kovalsky. He served the Polish army when it was World War II. He survived the World War II, and I'm sure he was a child when World War I happened.
Leon was in the army, and when he left, he found it difficult to transition to civil life to be just like us. He was also diagnosed with PTSD. He went through a stage where he didn't even want to speak to family. The Legion gave him money to help him get a flat and furnish it. He now has a job as a chef.
Over the past couple of weeks, puppies have been on sale in every classroom. To date, we have raised £40.
If every school in the borders made this amount, we would have around £2,750. Imagine if every school in Scotland raised that amount.
We would like to invite you all to join us in a minute's silence. If you have finished your remembrance flower, please hold it while we remember. Minute's silence is the time for us to stand still when no talking, to think about those who lost their lives so that we might enjoy ours. This is our mark of respect.
Please stand. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.